Subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.
Thank you all. Thank you, Enrico, who will return at the finish of the presentation. I take my control, but it's not working now. So please, the next, let's go to the collected data and the outcomes. So about the total responded organizations, we had 134 organizations from 26 countries and 5 regions. In the map of the right, you could see the colored countries from where these organizations are. As you can see, we had no organizations in Africa yet, no Georgia. The next survey, of course, we will have. But in Asia, we have only in the south. This is not the picture of all WFTC organizations. It's important to give that, to take this information, because this survey not represent all the organizations, represent only the respondents. So it's, of course, it's the total number is really higher than this. About the respondent organizations by region, Latin America was the first region with more respondent organizations, 75, representing more than half of the total of the organization. After it, North America, Asia, Europe, and Oceania. And in the map at the right, you can see the colored countries. The darker the country, the more respondent organizations it had. So we will not present now by country because of the time, but if you want to see the total data and the data by country, you could get it in the report we will launch in the next days. No? You will receive it in the WFTC news. Lonnie will share, of course. And after that, you could get in the website of WFTC, you will get at the end of this presentation. About the assisted and reached people, that we think is the most important data, how many people we can reach and assist. More than 500,000 people were reached and assisted only in 2021, only in the respondent organization, not in the whole WFTC organization. So it's really possible that this number could be 1 million or more. But this lack of data of the non-respondent organization is something that we really need to improve in the next step, in the next survey, to year after year have more accurate data. About the total assisted and reached people by region, North America, even being the second in number of respondent organization, was the first in number of assisted and reached people, with 276,000 people, even the half of the total. And after it, Latin America, Asia, Europe, and Oceania. And in the left, you can see the map. As the darker the country, the more assisted and reached people it have. The scope of work, we divided in 3 categories: national work, local work, and international work. And you can see in the graph that more than half of the organizations reported having national work. And in the graph on the right, you can see this data by region. In Latin America, for example, you can see that most of the organizations were only local, with local work. And in Asia too. It's probably depending on the level of development of the region, the size and the development of these organizations too. So in North America, Europe, and Oceania are more national and more international organizations considering the total by region. About the type of work, we divided in three categories: grassroots, advocacy, and both. And again, in Latin America, the most of them are only grassroots organizations. That again, it's talking about the size and the level of development. It's a region with a lot of organization, but of course, I being from Latin America, I know it, these organizations need more development, and that's because of this that we are here, of course. And again, more than the half of the total organization reported only grassroots work. You can see that only advocacy organizations were more in Latin America and North America. Europe reported more those combined organizations, and Asia too. About the numbers of employees, that talk about the size of the organization. The total, we divided in three categories: less than 10, 10 to 50, or more than 50. And the total were balanced between the three categories, as you can see in the pizza graph. And in the graph at the right, you can see that again, in Latin America, there were more small and medium organizations, and in the other regions, there were more bigger organizations with 10 to 50 or more than 50 employees. As I said, in the report you can get all the specific information by country too, and we want to encourage all the organizations of the world to fill and respond to the next report we will start to carry in the next year, because it's really important to understand who we are and what we are doing, and especially what we need to do starting to now. Enrico, you could finish there.
So, what are the goals of our federation for the incoming years? As clearly written by our president, which I always mention with a lot of respect and love, in the letter that is shown in the report itself, because this is a summary, there are three targets. First is to strengthen our networking to improve the quality and effectiveness of our service systems. So we are a worldwide organization. And networking means exchange, but exchange information is easier if we are also ourselves a community, if we are friends, if we sustain each other. If we want to ask to the men who want to assist to live the spirit of community, we should be firstly a community. So this sense of community starts from ourselves. And networking is the mean which you use to be a community, because one is a country, other is another country. In Russia there is an organization more specialized in psychiatric intervention, the other is more dedicated to human, the other to sanitary, the other to religious, so different. No? But if we exchange, we can, and when I pass to the second target, also improve. Second target is exchanging information about best practices to enhance professional competence and service delivery systems, with a target to allow people to resume their own life. Best practice, it's incredible. Today I was talking with Martin, and he said in Philippines, the role of the family is essential to push, to convince, even to force sometimes, the people affected by addiction to enter in a community. But this is only peculiar of Oriental area. If you go to Europe, it's completely different. So authorities are regulating who are authorized to get in, who are not authorized, who are entitled, who is not. Maybe in Latin America it's another approach. In the United States, it depends on a period. You have 1 month, maybe you have more months, so you are more independent. Also depends on the age. In some country, the people start to get into the community very, very early. Today, and yesterday, we're talking about people 9 years, 12 years here in India, but also in Italy it's the same. 12 years is the start. So. How to approach, how to be useful for them. I think that exchanging best practices is another very strong and useful way. Third, and very important as well, is the use of evidence-based intervention to reduce individual and social harm while improving individual and social health. Evidence is more and more requested. The authorities require us to clearly show how we operate and what we do. And in a certain way, to have a social report is an answer to this kind of sentiment, of request, because we must show also as a federation how we operate, what we want to do, how we are organized, with which funds, how we besides the technical, we can say therapeutical matters, also to go through the organization from approved and the technical way is very important to have respect from the authorities, and sometimes to get useful, to get also sustain, help, funds, energy, ideas and projects from the institutions. Particularly for this incoming year, we are going through two particular steps, which will be to continue researching the main characteristic of WFTC therapeutic communities, consider their methods and their and outcomes. And you will see, the more we can exchange data, information, the better we grow. Second is to endorse and share the best practices, as told before, and best results of the therapeutic community model. This is again an effort which starting from the federation, the committees, the local American, European, Asian, future Africa, continental organization will be more easily available. So at the end, we did 10% of the job. The rest, 90%, is still to be done, and sorry to ask, but it's to be done by yourselves. Because we need to grow also with a mean of social report, and so the next edition, of which will be number 2, will be improved with the suggestions, the comments, the information that we receive from yourselves. The complete report will be available soon after approval of this meeting on our website, which is WFTC.org, and any message can be addressed to WFTC@spync.org, which you can clearly see in that screen. So again, family, thank you very much for your attention and for your cooperation. Again.